Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring the one and only Desi-Rae Young.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So we blessed to be alive. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
I just want to say, did I say your name right? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I had to make sure I was like, I just wanted to make sure I said it correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me. Like, just let me know how I
It was
need to pronounce.
beautifully said. Beautifully said.
But first of all, slay all day, ma'am. Slay all day.
Thank
Period.
you.
So let's get to it. So Desiree, can you tell us how you got to where you are in your sports journey?
I mean, hard work. I That's like the first thing that I always say. I started when I was 12 years old. In the beginning, I did not want to play basketball like at all. But my uncle, he seen something in me that nobody else did, and he was like, you know what? We're putting you on the court. You're gonna just do it. And I did it, and I started to love it, and I made friends, and I wanted big accomplishments for myself. So I would just say like that hard work and that mentality is what got me to where I am today.
So, girl, that hard work, the perseverance, the resilience will get through it. So,
Yes.
and this leads to my question. I noticed you went to UNLV, and UNLV has a really, like, recently, for a few years now, just has really a great women's basketball program. For you, what was that like playing in the Mountain West competition? But also, what would you say are some of the misconceptions of the Mountain West competition?
Well, playing there, I was there during those few years that we went to the NCAA and things like that. So I knew when I came in as a freshman that I wanted more for UNLV. I watched them all my life. I'm from Las Vegas. I know the culture, the coaches that were here before. So I knew that I wanted to bring more for the school when I came. Once we got our new head coach, I knew that it was going to be like one of the best years of my life at UNLV because we're all new. I'm a freshman. She's a new coach. We got new coaches coming in, new players coming in. So I knew it was going to be years of just greatness. The misconceptions about the Mountain West, I would just say that, people think just because we're the Mountain West, we're like, one of the lower leagues or whatever. But no, we want to compete. I competed all my years there. I mean, I went undefeated one season. I have all my trophies right here to prove everything that I've done. Like, we want to compete. Everybody's trying to compete to be the best, to get in the NCAA, to get that spot because unlike other the SEC and all things like that. Like, a lot of teams get to go to the NCAA. So here in the Mountain West, it's you got your one try and then that's it. So I wanted those tries all my years. And, after my freshman year, we went 3 years in a row and it was up from there for UNLV.
Girl, you better let them know. Let them know you see them trophies, y'all. Y'all see the
Thank you.
trophies.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people. This is coming. I played it. I was part of a mid-major college, the CAA, which at the time they had. Well, they have UNCW, Delaware, and Delaware is gone now. They went to another, but it's been college basketball in conferences wise has changed since
A lot.
then.
Yeah.
So, but like people forget when it comes to mid majors, you see a lot of like say the Cinderella stories where like anybody could get it at any day. Like if you think about it, like you saw a lot of say upsets, you know, in everything. Somebody asked, can you ask Desi-Rae Young when is UNLV Lady Rebels going to retire number 23 jersey in the rafters?
Hey, can we ask the same question to UNLV? Nah, it's coming soon. Coming soon. It's coming soon. I got a lot more to accomplish. I want a lot of more accomplishments before, my jersey's just hanging there. Even though I did so much at UNLV, everyone knows that I'm very humble about it. I give all my, things that I've done to my teammates because without them, I wouldn't have got the things I got. So it's coming soon though. Just peep it. It'll be there. Don't worry, I'm gonna post when it is.
I know I think, and it come to about it. First of all, shout out to Nia. I love you and Nia's like
I love Nia as
the
well. It's my
relationship, y'all's
bestie.
friendships. Is I was like, and I had her early. I mean, I had her on here, and then I saw you had post. I was like, oh my god, I love the support and the friendship y'all had.
Of
I was like,
course.
so my question is, what's it like to have, say, y'all both teammates? What's it like to have like a teammate that go just blossoms into like that best friendships? Because ball is life. Let's get that out the way. But
And it is. We know that. But also
So
having, friends is life too. You need people to support you. Nia's gone through a lot. I witnessed some of the things she's went through, and it was unfair to her, but she is where she is now, and she's just gonna blossom and continue to be in the baddie that she is, the God fearing woman that she is, the hooper that she is. She has the dog in her. Like, I love people like that. All my friends are like that. We're all beautiful. We all want success and achievement and want to get our goals, and we all support each other at the end of the day. So, and me and Nia, we became best friends almost 6 years ago, and that was during my freshman year. I actually did my research on her. We always talk about this. I had to do my research on her to make sure she wasn't no scrub. But no, she was a dog. She's been a dog before I even met her. So I just knew when she came in that we were gonna, make some things shake at UNLV, and that's exactly what we did.
for sure. And I think, like, it's I think it's so important, like when it comes to say like teams, when you go into a college and you start to form like those friendships that end up becoming a sisterhood and stuff. I think like
Yes.
I always say like, because they always say ball is life, like bruh, like how true that is. Like you find your
Yeah.
sisters and brothers and your best friend through it. So like, and it leads to my question, during your time at UNLV, going on the playoff run, what was that like for you, and how did it prepare for you from playing in college to playing overseas?
I mean, it was a lot. I came in super young. I was like 18, 19 years old doing these things. So I had to change my mindset. I was like, these women are older than me. They've been here longer than me. You got to put in that work and show them you ain't no scrub too. So, it mentally prepared me. Everything is a mental challenge when it comes to, being a student athlete and especially being a woman as well, playing sports and things like that. So just having that strong mental and mindset is what really got me to like push through and like have a straight focus on basketball and kind of give up certain things that I would normally do and try to put all that like focus towards basketball. So just having that strong mindset and just like you said, the resilience and the hard work, like those all just paid off in like all of my success all my life.
And recently you just had, you just finished your overseas season with Israel and won a huge championship. First of all, big congrats, ma'am.
Thank you. It's right here.
Oh,
My gold plate.
hey, we love it. So,
Thank
what was
you.
that? So, you mentioned you played, overseas. You played in Rwanda and then Israel. What would you say? Some of the things that you from playing at those two countries. What would you say are some of the things that has helped you learn as not just an athlete, but as a woman that you are?
I mean, it gave me understanding that we are literally all different people. I mean, I go to these countries, they don't even speak English. You got the small group of people that speak English and then the people that are speaking the native language. So that was just an eye opener to me. Not everyone is a religious people, or some people are extremely religious. Like going to Israel, they have the Jewish community there. They're Jewish there. So it's like a different religion change for me as well. And just understanding that they don't do things on Saturday, or they do have these things that they do all the time. So just being able to understand that everyone's culture is different, and you have to be willing to accept it, because they're not going to change just because you're coming here, from America. They don't care. You come into their place, you want to be respectful, you want to admire them as well, because this is a different type of thing. And one thing about me is I love learning about different cultures and about people around the world. Like that's why I play basketball, to travel and be able to see these things. So being in Rwanda was definitely an eye opener. Going to the motherland, I always wanted to go to Africa. So I was so grateful that that was like the first thing that I could do was play overseas there. And then also going to Israel, where it's like a tough league. And, we're in the Middle East with it. Things are definitely super different than they are here, but I still had a great time. Man, I won the gold. I mean, not too many people can say that they've achieved things that I have. So just having a good mindset, like I keep, reverting back to, but also understanding that people are different from you and their cultures are not the same as yours. And you have to be respectful of that, and value their values as well. So yeah.
For sure. And this leads to my questions. A lot of people like to try to downplay overseas competition. Like it's like, if they're not in, say, the WNBA or the NBA,
Right.
it's like nothing. But what would you say are some of the misconceptions when it comes to overseas competition?
I mean, overseas is harder, in my opinion. I mean, they go hard. In America, we're talented. Don't get me wrong, we're talented. We work hard. We do all these things, but they want it. They grind every single day. And being overseas is kind of smaller than here in the W. The W is such a big thing, and people are famous in the W. We got the stars and the celebrities. Overseas it's more of a smaller thing, so they want that grind. They want that opportunity to be known and get the limelight on them as well. So they play hard, really hard, all day, every day. There was not an easy game that I had when I played overseas. So I would just say that, like, I had to put in that work every day. I had to hustle every day. There was like, it was just straight go. So I would just say that they work hard. They want to be seen and shown as well. And they want to come to America, whoop some butt too, but they also want to, continue to whoop butt where they at as well.
For sure. I will say, just from watching some of the overseas games, they're who it's whatever country it is, their fans don't play around when it comes to
They don't.
basketball.
They don't. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Like it is like loud, like you can't hear anything.
It's a
Like I'm
different
like,
culture, yeah. They playing horns, drums. I'm thinking I'm at church. They got all the instruments, they singing. I'm like, wow, okay, well, let's get active then. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. They turning me up too.
it's just so interesting how like say like just see like some of the games and the fans like, and then they'll implement like I'm just like yo like how like it's like if I was the player, it's like can I hear these plays? Like am I like
No, you
that's
can't. You can't
that
hear
be
nothing.
it's like but in like you mentioned like there's also like say there's the language barriers at times. Is that like also another thing? Say sometimes that's the like the barrier that you have to like how to say work with it while in say you're in your career.
I would say it is like, and I wouldn't even say it's with my teammates. A lot of my teammates, they knew English, or, they know a little bit of it. In Israel, a lot of my teammates, they spoke English as well. But I mean, it's like I said, it's all an understanding thing. I told myself, if I'm going to go to another country and they speak another language, I want to know too. I want to know what they saying. When I was in Africa, I was learning, I'm a kuru. How are you? I was learning the language. I'm in Israel talking about some shalom and all these things when I go to these places and stuff. So I was trying to feel comfortable doing it, because it's not a comfortable thing when you're learning something new. Especially when it has nothing to do with sports. This has everything to do with me, using my brain. So, but it's a good thing though as well. It makes you want to do it. Like even now, like while I'm home, I'm still trying to learn Spanish. I'm trying to learn um Hebrew. I'm trying to learn all these languages so when I go back, I can, communicate the way that I want to. So, but it's a hit or miss type of thing. Some people speak English, some people don't. So you can't always expect that everyone speaks English when you leave, the United States.
For sure. I just first of all, I just love the background. Like it's like the biggest flex you have. Like it's a big flex, right? You like yes, like
And it
it's
goes
like
all the way down to the bottom. I got my rings. I got my goggles I used to wear, all my trophies. This stuff up here is from AAU. I've been playing basketball for about 12 years now. So I have a lot of stuff. My mother has some things too. She's like, I want to keep this and let me just hold that. I'm like, all right, I don't got enough space anyways. I got to get a bigger case. Nah.
it's like the big flex. Like it's like it's a nice little. It's like it's like yes. I mean it's
Yeah,
decoration, but it's like I
you
would just
know,
add some more. It's like the aura to it's like,
right. It
but
feels good when I walk right through my door. Boom. Can't miss it.
but it's like I did that. I did that. You're like yeah I
Yeah,
did that.
know.
First of all, it's that gold plate for me. You're like it's
Girl, I
like the
was
gold.
so happy to add this Go Play. I said, let me make some room. I had to, some stuff's behind it, girl. I said, I don't even want that showing. Just show the Go Play.
I love that. What's it called? The transition video you did with you and your teammate, where y'all like,
Yes.
it looked like y'all hit the Heisman, and then it's like the play
Yeah.
with.
We knew we were gonna win. I was like, we're gonna do this now. Yeah, that's my teammate Anna. She actually had a triple double one of those games, like 10 blocks, 30 points, 10 rebounds, something crazy like that. So she's actually from Russia. She's a really great player as well. I'm trying to learn some Russian for her too. She speaks great English. She played in America too. But I want to, give her a little something privyet. No.
Yes, I will say if you ever do go back when you go back to overseas, I'm gonna need you to do a TikTok, but it got to be like I don't know if you remember there's a I always wanted to do this audio. It's the Kanye West come out. Everybody want to know what would I would do if I didn't win? And then they do the transit. I guess we'll
I
never
guess we'll
know.
never know. Thank you.
I want to do that.
Yes,
So you got to do that. I
I
swear.
got
I was
to. I'm gonna tag you when I do it too.
Cause for me, it's like I want to do that so bad, especially like say if when I go back to playing Special Olympics, and like say, for basketball, I like or in any basketball, I'll be like I want to do that so bad, but like I don't know, everybody want to know what I would do if I did. I'm like I guess we'll never know,
Thank you. Period. Yes.
And this leads to my question, with the rise of the increase of viewerships and even the engagement of women's basketball showing up all of a sudden, but it's been there. But what does it mean to you to see, you know, more eyes on women's basketball, especially you being part of it?
I mean, it means everything to me. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. Give women's basketball their flowers. We deserve the as much limelight as anybody else. We put in that work, in and out, all day, every day. So obviously it's hard. Competing against the men. This was a men's sport before it became a women's sport, but we're here to represent as well. I beat men all my life, so that ain't nothing to me. But just being able to give us our flowers, give us the money we deserve, the shine we deserve, the deals we deserve, the things that we worked hard for as kids. A lot of us have been playing, at the age of 3 years old. So, we've been working up to these things, and just to see it here and, just see our flowers being given to us, it's like really a blessing. And we know that all came from, the Lord above, just hearing our prayers, hearing the things we want, allowing people to actually hear us and, putting our foot down and, just being the strong women that we are.
Amen, amen. First of all, yes, because a check is way overdue. So
Thank you.
a check in the
Overdue.
bank. So what would you who would you say were some of the women hoopers that you grew up or watching that you are like I really love her game. She just inspires you.
So when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch basketball as much. Like I said, I wasn't really into it. I've heard names like Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie. I knew these things because they were legends. You always don't know a legend, but it's like I
Mm-hmm.
really I really wasn't into it as much. I liked Michael Jordan. He was like one of the biggest. Kobe Bryant, one of the biggest. But as I got older and as I start watching the game more and things like that, a lot of people say that my game resembles De'Erica Hamby. So I had to study her and see does it really give what it get and it gave what it gave. So I got that compliment a lot. um but just overall I feel like all of us women, we all are inspiring each other. And it doesn't matter if you're a center or you're a guard, like we're competing just the same. We're trying to get the same amount of buckets, the same amount of points, the same amount of time on the court. So but I would say that De'Erica, she's someone that people say that I represent a lot, and I'm proud to say that I do. And I've actually met her before. She's a sweet woman, sweet lady, great mother. She also did like the talk for the games and stuff one time for UNLV, so I thought that was cool as well. So yeah, I would definitely say De'Erica can be.
Girl, you pulled a big one from the bag because she just recently got inducted into her college Hall of Fame, the Wake Forest Hall of Fame, which is huge because I was like, because hey, people be forgetting De'Erica Hamby was her back in college. It's still
And
her
she
in the
was. I
league.
did my research. I know. I had to.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like a lot of people, like her being a mother, you have a lot, and also a lot of people forget some of these players that's playing in leagues are mothers, like having to like give birth and then come back, like just after giving birth and playing, like everything
And
just
still being in great shape. Like, it's one thing about women, we are incredible. We are truly blessed. We do things that men could never do. They don't even want to do.
oh,
I'm
technical
sorry.
difficult. You
Can you hear
good? You
me?
good? Yes, yes, I can hear
Okay.
you. Yes.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Oh, try to go back in. Go if you go out, come back in. Can you hear me?
I unmuted myself.
You good?
I got a call. I can't hear you though. Can you do
Go.
your mic?
Okay. Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Try to go back out and come back in.
Me? Okay, I'll
Go.
come out.
Then come back in. There. We have a little minor technical difficulties, y'all. It's all good. But if you've been enjoying this episode, be sure to like the live, share the vibe, like it. You know, it's definitely appreciated. And big thank you to Desiree Young for coming on the podcast, sharing her story so far. And we back, y'all.
So
Yes.
sorry.
It's all good, girl. It's all good. I said this podcast is raw real. Sometimes we have blooper moments like this. So it's all good. It, it's I was about to say it's not the first like where people call me like, "Can I hear you?" But like, it's all good. Just come back. We good. It's like we here, but it makes the episodes more beautiful. But like it happens, but it's here. We here with it. So, but I think like we were just saying, women doing what men can't do, especially like just I think it's such a beautiful like I think it's such a beautiful thing what we women do, especially like imagine like we said, we see mothers in the WNBA coming back like just getting the championships, getting
Exactly.
like you had De'Erica Hamby, you had Skylar Diggins, you had who was another one that was very, oh, Bria Hartley. People forget about her. She like just it's like so many, and it's like what can we not do? So,
Literally, we do everything. This is what we fought for back, way back when.
and it's also too amazing to see like first of all, what do you so far with with women's basketball, especially particularly college, you have the NIL. What would you say are some of your inputs with the college athletes finally getting their name, image, and likeness being monetized?
I mean, I think it's great. I've heard stories of athletes before, this happened, back when I was younger watching college sports, that they wish that they had that. I talked to the Gonzalez twins, like they wish that they were able to do these things because, they had so much limelight on them and they were beautiful and they were good at basketball. They were educated, they were queens, and they couldn't do the things that we can do now. And, I know that they're happy and we're all happy that this has been able to happen. Obviously, we wish that it was implemented earlier in the earlier stages. But now that it is, it's like it makes people work harder for the things that they want to achieve. I worked hard for basketball because I love basketball, but to have some money, some extra money put on it, they gonna work even harder. So it's a great thing to see. It allows like our hard work to pay off at the end. Like we deserve that.
But I feel like I would, there was times where like I would have to talk with some people like, man, if NIL had happened during your era, do you know how many like
I'm
lunches and
telling
food
you.
like, because I know I will say from say seeing so like I used to be a college athlete manager for a team, and none of the girls at the time, you could not accept food from say anybody. Like if say somebody bought you food, you couldn't accept it because they would
There
say
was a
it
lot
was
you couldn't do. Yeah. It's
so it was like a
crazy.
so it was like a violation if you could accept it. But it's like but like, do you know how much gas and food would be paid for with it?
And that's it. That's all we needed anyways, the car money and the food.
Man, especially like all those times, like, when you have to, there's times where say you have to, like, if you were, there's times you had to go on break and you go, like, say, go home. It's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it? Or if you have to go to, say, on different campuses and it's a long drive and you ain't trying to walk for 10 minutes from, like,
Hmm.
because I will say that eight to 8:50 class, and then you have to make it to a 9 o'clock class in 10 minutes. You have to run, bruh.
Girl, one thing about them college campuses, they're huge. They go on and on and on and on and on. I already know. That's why I have my little electric scooter. I was like, I'm not doing all that walking. I already got to
Man,
run at practice.
girl, kudos for you with the electric scooter. I got ran over by a couple people with them longboards. Yes,
Oh,
long.
them skateboards. I hate them
Yes,
skateboards. I
I
hate
wanted
them. The
to.
big ones. Uh-uh.
Them longboards, people like literally. I'm like nobody's telling me to watch out and stuff. Like y'all run into me. Like I'm like
They don't be caring. One thing about them people on them skateboards, they don't care. They think they can
They
do some
don't.
tricks and move around, and then they end up hitting you.
Like it's like, and then also like I had to watch myself, make sure my what's it called, like my ankle, like y'all didn't hit my ankle now. That because folks, like I said, oh, shout out, we don't have to deal with those 11:59 deadline
Oh,
home.
girl, I'm so grateful that school is done. I couldn't even take my COVID year because I did not want to do school no more. No shade to education. I was just brain was it was full.
Just you're like, I'm just done, right? Mentally, I'm done with school, but for basketball, no, I'm good.
It's up. It's up for basketball. Always up.
But the paperwork and the 10-page
The
papers,
long
nah.
nights. Crazy.
And this leads to my question. So I always say that athletes are humans first. For you as a black woman and an athlete, how important is mental health to you?
I mean, it's really important. It is truly important. I mean, I've seen so many like suicides and student athletes and things like that. And I mean, it's an eye opener because it shows like this is really a lot on us. And people think that mental health is a joke, but it's not. It was just pushed away all those years, and now we're bringing it to light. I'm a psychology major, so this is something that I've always wanted to do and just be able to get people like out of a funk and let them know that they are, great people and don't let these things kind of, bring you down or push you back, keep going because the mental can break. That's why they call them mental breakdowns. It can break. And when I was at UNLV, we had our um therapist, Dr. Raven. She would always come and we'll do like, little group things, or we could do separate things one on one with her. So, she was a black woman, amazing woman as well. She definitely kept a lot of my teammates sane. I know she did. We were all going through things, on and off the court. We all go through things all the time. So just being able to have someone that you can go to and do those things with is like truly a blessing because not everybody has that or can afford that. So I think mental health is a really big thing, especially when it comes to sports, because people push us to our limits sometimes. And it could be the breaking point and people don't even know. So just being able to, put yourself in other people's shoes is where that mental part comes from.
For sure. And I just wish, and like I always say, I wish people would understand how like athletes, like they have feelings too. Like what they're doing is a job. Like they love it, but at the same time, it is a job that they built for in their career. But at the end of the day, they have feelings and emotions. Like I never understood how, like, say, and you probably seen this in where you have like the fanatic people that always do the little betting stuff. They will message like athletes like, you better not mess this
Yes.
up and stuff. I'm like, why would you say this to, like, what
The
that got
betting
to
is
do,
crazy too. Yep.
like the part, like all them, like, say the parlays and stuff. I'm like, so you mad if they don't hit a certain goal, but it's like, this is, maybe it wasn't their night, maybe it was just, you gotta, like, I think some people need to take in consideration, like, say, when you have fans, the fanatic people start messaging, like, that's why a lot of people, like, say, if you look at like message requests nowadays, like some people don't even accept message requests unless you say they follow you and stuff. Like that's like the boundaries. That's how real it is.
Yeah, you
Cause
gotta have boundaries though too. So that's just how that goes. I mean, and people are crazy like betting on someone and you support them, but if they don't do these things, then you're not supporting them no more. Or you're trying to basically mess up their career because as athletes, we're not allowed to do those things or know about those things. And to just see it or whatever is happening that's crazy. And we hear all the stories all the time and athletes betting on themselves and messing up their own careers. So the betting thing, I think that was a crazy thing to implement.
I think what's worse too, another thing that doesn't get talked about, and I feel like, and we seen, and I think I've seen this recently, is like, how, say, a lot of the athletes that play, they have significant others and they have families, and say sometimes, like, if, say, their favorite player messes up, then you have fanatics just messaging their significant others, just saying, like, that's the reason why I say, Russell Westbrook, couldn't have his family with him at the games because, like, all these, like,
People
the
are crazy,
messages.
yeah.
And I'm like, how, like, do people not realize, like, they have lives? Like, mind you, first of all, I love Russell and Nina together because that's like, that's the love of basketball right there. Because, like, People be forgetting Miss Nina Westbrook. It was a hooper too. Like Miss Nina Westbrook was a
Period.
hooper. She did not play around at UCLA. So, but I just think like I just think it's so like people need to understand like you just can't say certain things just and then think you can get away. Like
Right.
there's freedom of speech, but freedom of speech don't equivalent from freedom of consequences. So like
Exactly. I'm gonna say that line right there too.
I saw it somewhere. I forgot where I saw it, but I was like, "Ooh, you know what? That makes perfect sense." Because some people like they find around they mess around. They go find out later on sometimes. But like,
Some people is just as crazy as they are. They don't know though.
and this leads to my question is, you know, when it comes to representation, having someone that looks up to you, you look up to somebody. How important is representation to you?
I mean, it's very important. And as a young woman, it's hard to represent sometimes. You do things that younger girls can't do, younger boys can't do. They got to wait to grow up to do what you're doing. But as long as I feel like you're a kind person, you put in that work, you show that like you're a baddie in the sport that you do. I feel like being a baddie is also a representation of me. I love looking beautiful and cute and all those things. When you're on the court, be a hustler, be the aggressor, like show that these are the things you can do when you become a certain age and things like that. Because you want young girls and young boys to be young, have fun. That you ain't got to really worry about too much yet. But as representation of a young woman and a young adult, I want to represent in the correct way. I want to show that being an adult is different from being a kid, and especially playing in sports as well. It's just like there's older women than you, people who've been in like the WNBA for so long, 10 plus years, and they got MVPs and all-star things and rings and all these things. Like, you got to be able to also compete. So I always try to show the baddie side and also try to show the basketball side as well.
Period. First of all, can we just get clap it up for all the? I feel like for me, when it comes to especially women's sports, particularly like college and the professional, media day is a holiday for the women's sports,
Girl,
especially women's basketball. Media day, media day, media day. It's like a holiday. I be like, ooh,
we waiting for that day, right? We put it on our calendar. We put the reminders in weeks ahead. We got to go get our nails done, hair done.
yeah. I be like, I would see like, especially like I said, women's like men's basketball's media day. It's like, oh yeah, y'all look nice. That's cool. But women's Beauty and the Beast with it, both on and off the court.
Man,
Like
man,
it's like
for real though.
it's like a photo shoot. Like Gucci Mane say, it's a photo shoot. It's a photo shoot. So it's like
Go ahead and
just
pose, do everything that you could do.
yes. Especially I be like and seeing like all and I'm like yes, like repost, share, slay, all day, cute, fly. Yes. I be like, it is a holiday. Like we hear, and it, it exudes. It has all the. And to me, what's so amazing about Media Day, especially for women's basketball, is like I said, the Beauty and the Beast. But like they can be able to be feminine, show the femininity side. Like a lot of people don't may not see
Yes,
it, but it's like you see the femininity side where it's okay. Yes, I hoop, but I could still be beautiful. So
exactly. Baddies get buckets too. So just know that.
let them know what it is. So my question for you is: I noticed you are very big in your faith. So for you, how do you balance, your faith and basketball simultaneously?
I mean, first of all, you wake up and you pray. You want thank you for waking me up today, Lord. Like, thank you for letting me go to sleep peacefully at nighttime and see the sun today. So, always having that prayer and things like that. A lot of people read the Bible and all those things. I'm trying to get more into that as well. Going to church, just feeling it. It's all about your faith. It's all about your believing. I before games I pray. I always pray during the national anthem or whatever anthem is being sung. I'm praying during those times just so that I can feel it. I feel, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you're truly blessed. Like, he's given this to you. So everything I do is from God, from the Lord. Like, I take nothing for granted. I don't take my life. I don't take my sport. I don't take my beauty. I don't take anything that I have for granted because I know it could be all taken away from me. by decisions that I make. So I always try to walk in faith, always try to be a nice person, be a kind person. I try to always stay positive, even in negative situations. So that's just the type of person that I am. And without the faith, I mean, I wouldn't even have been here today. I thank my grandmother because she's the one that started this for me and my siblings growing up. So without her, putting us in there, getting us baptized, going to, the first every Sunday, getting the communion and things like that, hearing the spirit being talked out of people's mouths, and just hearing the choir sing. It just I was an usher when I was a child too, sending people to
What?
the seats, bringing them fans. It's a part of my life. I've done this all my life. So faith isn't going anywhere. The Lord, he's not going anywhere. So that's just how that goes.
Man, I realized how, you meant, first of all, shout out to the grandmothers because when I tell you, it hits a little different when grandmothers pray for you. I don't know what it is in those prayers that the grandmothers be praying. I'll be like, it's some type of extra protection and stuff, whatever they
Hmm.
say. I'm like, thank you. I'll be like, and because one thing for sure, those grandmother prayers hits a little different than
They
like
do.
just it's a little different. I'm like, whew, like whatever they said, thank you, man. Because, but this leads to my question. If there was a word, a phrase, or a scripture to describe your journey so far, what would it be?
I guess a word that I can use would be blessed. I am truly blessed. Mind you, I did not want to play basketball. I was blessed with athleticism. Like, I didn't know a lick of basketball. I didn't know how to dribble. I ain't even run outside that much. So for me to be able to get on the court a couple months down the line, and people thought I was good and I thought I sucked. In the sixth grade, people thought I was the greatest person. I thought I was terrible. So for me to just be able to see how much I changed from sixth grade to ninth grade to freshman year of college to senior year, and I'm approached. It's like everything has been a blessing. It's just it's just gone up and up and up. I haven't went down, and thank God, but I haven't went down or just had something that just brung me down and then that was just it. I kept going, and I'm gonna continue to keep going as well. But I'm truly blessed. Like, if I had to say a word, like, I'm blessed for real.
Ooh, hey, let me get my little shakers for that because hey, I these are the closest things to my tambourine. I was looking for my tambourine, but I be loving these shakers. They came with the tambourine,
Okay.
but yes, yes, y'all gonna see them on here, but because won't he do it? Yes, he will. Because God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. So, because as they say, when the blessings go, when the prayers go up, the blessings come down. So,
And they do. They come down real nice and hard too.
I think one of the things that I've learned from about blessings and prayers is that timing. Because you gotta be, especially being patient with God's timing with those prayers and blessings. Because, you know, I and I learned this a long time ago. Don't let don't let someone else's blessing discourage you. Let it encourage you because you never know how long that person had to wait for their blessing. But let it encourage you because that means your blessing is coming your way. God ain't forgot
Thank
about you.
you.
So,
Exactly.
so I remember having learned that. I was like, whew. Because I would say when it comes to God's timing, patience be
You gotta
working
have patience
overtime.
though. You gotta have it. Patience is key to a lot of things in life, to working out, eating right, trying to have a healthy life. That all takes patience. I mean, I'm still on my own journey. I can eat what I want because I'm running and all these things, but like, when I retire, what you gonna do? You gonna give up? You gonna no, you gotta stay fit, stay in shape, stay ready. You never know when you might have to run a mile or run away from something or run up some stairs. You might be missing your flight and you gotta run through the airport. So
Mhm.
everything is patience, everything is.
Absolutely. And this leads to my question. I always ask my guests this question because bona fide means authentic, unique. So,
Okay.
what makes Miss Desi-Rae Young bona fide? What makes your story stands out?
I mean, I was the underdog. I'm still an underdog. I was the underdog coming up. Nobody knew my name. I had to make my name known. So I would just say I'm an underdog. I don't know. I just feel like I'm unique in my own self. I have a great personality. I'm like an open book. You can ask me anything. I'll tell you anything. I'm not a liar. I'm a truthful person. I'm not a hater. I love everyone, everything. Um, I would just say I was an underdog, and I'm on my way up. That's what I would say.
Better let them know it's like I'm all the way up. I'm
Man,
all
I'm
the
up
way up.
there. I'm coming up.
Like the only way is up, and that's it. The only way is up.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's on period. So, Miss Desi-Rae, can you let the folks know how where they can support and find you? Any upcoming events happening your way?
Any upcoming events? I'm actually going back to Rwanda in a few days, so I'll be, vlogging and doing things like that. Follow me on IG, DESII.young. You can get me on TikTok and YouTube with that as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Ashley. I had so much fun. I love you and everything you represent. Keep going, keep shining, and here for you as well.
I mean, I'm gonna have to cry later on afterwards on tears of joy. But y'all make sure to follow the queen herself, Miss Desi-Rae Young, on Desi with two eyes dot Young on TikTok, on Instagram, and YouTube. And be sure to check her out if you are in Rwanda or y'all are fans of overseas basketball. Be sure to check her out in her games because ma'am is a gold medalist as we speak with the gold plate. Y'all see this, the gold plate. She's a gold medalist, so y'all better put some respect on her name.
Thank
Y'all better watch
you.
her games. Be sure, because when you invest in women's sports, y'all, amazing thing happens. So be sure to follow Miss Desi-Rae Young at Desi.Young with two eyes on the Desi part. So let's get that out the way. Remember that. Desi, DESII.Young. Y'all be sure to follow her. A big shout out to Desi-Rae Young for coming on the podcast. And be sure to check out
Of
the live
course.
replay. Be sure to check out the live replay of Bonafide Her podcast, episode 230, featuring Desi-Rae Young after this. Thank you guys for tuning